A story of Romeo and Juliet. We are presented with a story with a brawl between the Capulets and Montagues. Samson and Gregory of the Capulet house start a quarrel with the Montague men. Soon it breaks out into a fight on the streets until Benvolio and Tybalt come in an attempt to stop it. The brawl is only ended with the appearance of the prince, in which case that they must respect the prince's laws between the two rival houses fighting. They first meet. Romeo and Juliet first meet at the feast, with Romeo first finding her. Entranced by her beauty, Romeo instantly falls in love, and with the sight of Romeo, Juliet in turn also falls in love. This is the beginning of their newfound love for one another. The quote that Romeo gives is an example of first at love sight, as he states he's never loved until now, and he's never seen a beauty truer than hers. Romeo and Juliet's first kiss anchor their deep love for each other. Juliet's statement of how Romeo kisses by the book shows us of where Romeo develops his concept of love from. Friar Lawrence weds the two couple together secretly away from their Capulet and Montague families. As the marriage ensues, what comes after is unprecedented and will push the boundaries of their love even further. Benvolio and Mercutio encounter Tybalt and his kinsmen out on the streets. Tybalt demands to know where Romeo is, and Mercutio responds with a sword out. However, Romeo appears shortly after and attempts to stop their fight. He however fails to do so, and Mercutio and Tybalt continue to fight. Romeo jumping in between the two, Mercutio dies from a slash from Tybalt. Tybalt is later then slain by Romeo out of grief and anger for his friend.
Romeo's exile. After Romeo killed Tybalt, the Capulets and Montagues argued about whether or not Romeo should be executed or not, because he did break the peace. The prince had to come in and made the decision of banishing Romeo to Mantua instead of executing him, because he saw why Romeo killed Tybalt in the first place. When Romeo was banished, his mother died due to grief because her only son was being banished. Juliet fakes her death. After Romeo was banished, Juliet wanted to run away and be with Romeo. So she decided to ask Friar Lawrence for a sleeping potion that would make her to appear to be dead. Then Friar Lawrence would sent a messenger to Romeo saying that Juliet had faked her death to escape Paris's marriage. But by the time Juliet's death had reached news to Romeo, he immediately went back to Verona to see her. And when the messenger came to give Romeo the news, Romeo had already left. This scene shows how Romeo and Juliet feel about love, because Romeo would still see Juliet even though she was dead, and Juliet would fake her death just to be with Romeo. Everybody dies. When Romeo reaches Juliet's body, he encounters Paris and then they fight, and Romeo succeeds and kills Paris. Then he drinks a poison because he would rather die than live without Juliet. Soon, Juliet awoke and found that Romeo had drank poison because he thought that she was dead. Juliet felt the same way and couldn't live without Romeo, so she took his sword and stabbed herself. This scene shows how Romeo and Juliet feel about love, because they would rather die than live without one another.